Hello, welcome to a new series with Roto where we'll be looking at what is in the camera bag. That is, what is in the camera bag of who we are interviewing and who we have been interviewing recently. We're going to kick things off with Mr. Ashley here from Vision Avenue Wedding Films.
Yes.
This gentleman has probably got the tidiest camera bag you would have ever seen. I am very impressed with it. I love the way he's got his kit set out. You won't get to see mine until I can make it reasonably smart, so it comes in line with something like this. I will let John take over. He will explain everything in his kit bag, things that he uses, why he's chosen them. We can see how he's laid it out. Any questions you've got, feel free to chuck them in the comments and we will get back to you with them.
Okay, cool. Right. I used to use a couple of bags of various models, makes, but I wanted to condense it. I wanted to kind of put it into one bag. I'm using a Niwa bag, newer. I don't know.
There's no hiding. It's one of the budget bags out there.
It is one of the budget bags out there. I think.
Which surprised me when he said he purchased it until I saw it.
Yes. I paid £99, which is just over, I think.
It's the cheapest you'll find a roller bag from anywhere.
And to be honest with you, it's great. One thing I like about it before I open it, little strap by here.
So this is for the tripod mount?
Yeah, you can put a tripod. I put my monopod in there, so I've got easy access to it.
Yeah.
Literally just unclip and away you go. It's fantastic. So when I'm on a shoot, normally I just use tripods for ceremony speeches.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just carry my monopod everywhere then.
Fair enough.
Just in here.
And that seems really good. I've got what's my bag? I've got a roller bag, a Low Pro RL150, which is a great bag, similar size, bit thinner, doesn't quite hold as much as this. Has what is called a tripod strap on the side. Doesn't have any feet or an end pocket for you to, when you put your tripod in, you've got two straps and it slides up and down all over the place. I'm very impressed that is included. So it stops your tripod rolling out or monopod.
It's really good. Really good. Also comes with there's a little pocket on the side I will show you in a second, but also comes with a complete rain cover, which is again for the price.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
It's great. It's
and
great.
You've even got a little plastic grip handle on the bottom. You've got your feet and two wheels.
Yeah.
And plastic grip handle on the bottom, just so you can lift it
up
from both ends. Which, just little things like that you don't normally find from a bag of this price.
For a budget, it's a great bag. It's really well made, really solid. I have thrown it around in the back of a car, van,
I've seen
wherever.
You do it.
Yeah, and it's great. It's really, really well made. Should we open up another one?
Sounds good. Let's open it up.
Open it up.
Here we go.
Cool. So as you can see, it's red. You can get. My wife's got exactly the same bag. She has got a purple interior. You can get a grey interior, which actually costs about £15-20 more.
Just for a grey one.
Just for a grey. I don't know why. I went
probably
red
to match a Low Pro setup, but
most probably
the red's fine. The red and black's fine.
As you can see, it's very, very neat and tidy.
That's an understatement. This is set out just how you want it to be. I don't think anyone is actually going to top this, so we're kicking it off with the tidiest kit bag you're going to find.
If you've got a tidier kit bag, send images.
Yeah,
send images to Matt,
honestly.
We will really want to see your kit bags. If they're messy, if they're tidy, if you've got a certain order to them, just send them in to Matt. We'd love to have a look.
What we got then? Start us off.
First of all, on this side is my Sony A6500 with the 18-105 f4.
So that lens is quite new to you at the moment?
Yeah, this is relatively new. I've had it for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I have had to adjust some of the bits just to get the lens to fit, 'cause it's a fairly chunky lens.
And how are you going to end up using that? How do you see yourself using that lens on that body?
Mainly kind of run and gun.
Okay.
So during kind of candid shots, I've got 105mm, which what did we work out in 1.5, but 130 something,
50 something,
150 something. There you go.
Good maths.
I'm no good at maths. But I can double that with a clear image zoom, which both of myself Matt have tried.
Very impressed. Very
and you lose very, very little quality. So
for those that don't know, the clear image zoom is where it will zoom, it will crop in on the sensor. And it's like a digital zoom, but it's not like a digital zoom. It's hard to explain.
It's
but
very,
you don't lose resolution, especially at 1080p anyway. And it's lovely picture quality.
I have actually done some tests in the house with it with 4K, and looking back when I've cropped in to kind of normal focal length, I can't really see any difference. So
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's my kind of run and gun.
So that's your run and gun ready to go.
Yep.
So do a whole wedding with that if you had to. If you had one camera and one camera
you
body.
could. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of videos on YouTube saying if you could only have one lens with a 6500 or 6300,
that's the one.
What would it be? And everyone chooses the 18-105. Again, low light f4 is not the best, but
I know what you mean.
I crank up the ISO or use a little light, which I'll come on to in a second.
Sounds good.
So that's my kind of run and gun main camera. On to the next.
On to this one then.
This is my Panasonic GH4R, which will be sadly going. I started off with this 18 months ago into the world of wedding films. This will be going shortly and being replaced by the Sony A6400.
If you've watched the previous interview with John, we've talked about this camera and the fact the new Sony A6400 he's got coming in. But as it stands, that's been your safety wide angle?
This is my safety wide angle. I use a Olympus 12mm f2.
Which is very sharp.
Brilliant. Oh, so sharp. It's a brilliant lens. So in Micro Four Thirds, it's a 24mm. Absolutely great lens. One of the things I like about it, it's fly-by-wire, but when you drop it down, it's got hard stops.
I didn't even know it did that.
And you can pull it to manual focus instantly. So you've got manual hard stops there and there. It physically won't go. But then you can put it back into autofocus and it'll fly by wire.
That's quite impressive. So that's a 12mm f2.
12mm
Olympus.
f2.
What's the cost on that at the moment? Do you know? What did you pay?
For £500.
Oh, okay, it's not a cheap.
It's not a cheap lens. It's always been the smallest lens.
It looks very dainty.
It's very dainty, and it obviously doesn't put any weight onto the camera, but it's fantastic. I'm going to miss this lens. I wish I could get it for Sony. I really do.
You could use an adapter.
I could use an adapter.
Well, is the crop, because that lens is obviously from Micro Four Thirds, which is a 2x crop. So I'm guessing it might struggle.
Yes,
that's a shame, but
it's a brilliant lens.
I've seen the picture quality of that is superb.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So this is my wide shot. Like I said, I did when I first started out. I started out with this camera. It's gonna hold great memories. I don't want to get rid of it, but I'm switching to Sony. But yeah, that's my GH4R. Next to that are some spare Sony batteries. As people know, with the 6500, 6300 series, batteries they go through batteries like water. So
that's the one plus point of the A7 III. They actually fixed that and gave you a much bigger battery.
Absolutely.
So the A7 II, can I see that battery? Is that an FW50?
So this, A6500.
Yeah, so I had an A7 II before I went over to the A7 III to see if I liked the system, and it had these. Did
that A7 II use that battery?
Yeah,
then?
it's the same battery.
Right, I didn't know that.
But they are much smaller. Now this is 900 milliamp, which says it all. I did buy some aftermarket ones which were 1950 milliamp. They were very good, and they lasted. Two of those did a wedding.
I do have some of them. These are. I had a deal with these when I bought one of my 6500s, and these basically come with a camera. They are my backup backup batteries.
Yeah,
this is why they stay in this little bag. They're always 100% charged. If I desperately need them,
ready to go.
They're just ready to go.
Batteries always have enough batteries.
Loads.
I do have an anecdote. When I was doing just a wedding film for a couple, they had a family friend do the photography. All sounded well and good until they told me she'd only done 2 studio photography jobs. She turned up with an old Nikon crop sensor camera with 1 battery and a kit lens. Didn't sound very good. Didn't get very far into the day. We just stepped outside for formal shots and her battery died, and that was the end of that. Luckily, being the fact that I actually do both, I always carry all my gear with me, and I was able to ride in and save the day. And it was obviously the couple were thankful, but not every videographer is going to have a stills camera thing. Armor. And it's something that I try and drill into everyone. Make sure you have enough batteries. Carry chargers with you. You shouldn't ever need to touch it, and I never have, but carry them with you. Do not try and chance it, even with 2 batteries, because if the battery fails or it gets really cold, they drop off. So I'm very, very impressed with however many. Oh, you got lots.
I've got 3 backup batteries in there. They are again aftermarket. I've got some more aftermarket, which are actually I get more running time out of them than their original Sonys.
Sounds good.
But there, I will show you in a second.
Sounds good.
Next in my bag after the batteries, just under here, are these 2 little grey bags. Taioka, I think they are called. Basically, they are lav mics. So, they slightly messy. I don't know how they get in this state because I wrap them up really, really nicely.
Maybe he's not as OCD as I can.
These are great. I didn't pay much for these at all when I was doing the reviews. A lot of people were saying the Rode lav mics. But I found that there was a lot of bad reviews on them as well as good reviews, and they were quite expensive. These, I can't even remember. I think they were about £18-20 each.
That sounds good.
They wasn't much at all, and I've never had an issue with them.
I've got a purple Panda which come in a set very similar to this.
I've heard of them.
And that's that's really nice quality. Can I have a quick look? I'm very impressed with the size of the windshield you get on that.
Yeah,
and the head on that looks fantastic. You can probably see that just about on the overhead camera there. I'm very impressed. That's actually that's very well built.
They are really, really good quality. I sometimes, dependent on the person that's speaking, will need to add a touch of bottom end, touch of bass.
Okay.
But apart from that, very, very rarely.
Sounds good.
It goes into my Sony TX650, which is next in line. These are brilliant. What I do advise, though, is put a micro SD card in, because they haven't got a lot of storage built in. I think it's only 4 gig.
Okay.
So if you do record
that's
a wedding...
That's an hour, is it? Is that about an hour?
Just over an hour, I would say, of WAV.
By the time if you've got a church ceremony and you've put it on the groom half an hour before that starts, and you don't take it off in time or it hasn't finished in time, the last thing you want is to miss an important part of audio. In the UK, with our church weddings, we do actually tend to walk from where they have the ceremony and the vows. We finish off with up at the altar, which is a good 15 metres away, and you'll find you've got no audio up there other than what's on the groom or the vicar or priest. So that's a good shout. Memory card for your
I have got a 32 gig micro SD in here, so I know I've got plenty of time. Battery on this is rechargeable via USB. It is really, really good. Takes about an hour to charge after a complete full use, but then that'll last 2 or 3 weddings.
Yeah, I do have one exactly the same. I love the USB option. It just pops out. You haven't got to worry about any cables. You just put it straight into USB port. It charges straight into there. It is fantastic. And obviously you just transfer all your files over. Absolutely brilliant bit of kit. Love that.
Great.
I noticed there before we skip on, so that's your Rode, that's just a little pocket you've got for your...
for my Rode Video Mic Pro, not the Pro Plus, just the Pro.
The main difference with the Pro Plus is the auto switch off. And
Yes.
is there anything other than that?
I don't.
It's one of those things. The Pro Plus.
Think so.
The Pro is a great microphone to have. I'm sure there are other differences. The one of note for us was that it automatically turns itself on and off, therefore not wasting battery or find you've got a dead battery when you turn your camera on and off, which is actually a big deal. But I think for the price difference, if you've already got the Pro, it's not really worth the upgrade, is it? So
No. I looked at the Pro Plus, and to be honest with you, I didn't. Apart from the auto on and off, and I'm quite switched on with when my camera goes off. I notice the little green light. I just switch it off
unintended.
and job done. But yeah, it's a great microphone, really good.
Sounds good.
And the batteries are square batteries, so it takes.
Got the D batteries.
Yes, 9-volt square batteries.
Good to know.
These last ages in there.
Yeah, I think the same with the video mic. The Rode video mic, the original one. The batteries did last quite a while. 6 months sometimes, but it just depends on making sure you don't forget to turn it off.
Yes.
So
Middle row. More of my audio stuff. I have 2 of the Tascam DR05s. I used to use these before I switched to the Sonys, which I'll get onto in a second. These are great.
so do you use those for just wide audio? You put them on the table and
If
those to record.
If there's more people speaking, because I've only got 4 of the little Sonys at the moment, which I will be getting more of.
Again, if you look at the interview with John, you'll
Yep.
see us talking about those little Sonys and how he uses them. But before we get to that, yeah, they're very good. I use one of those. In fact, the audio you're hearing now is a Rode Video Micro connected to one of these
Tascams.
DR05 Tascams. Very good.
These are brilliant. I put them on my little, just delve in here, put them on my little Manfrotto Pixies, which I think I picked up for about 19 quid, 20 quid, they're nothing. Really good because they have a ball and movement, so you can point the mic up.
Whichever angle you want.
Yeah. If I have run out of microphones and there's lots of people speaking, I will always say, mainly during speeches, to go and stand at the edge of the table. I will
Just
pop
where
this.
you know you've got a microphone.
Pop this to the edge of the table. I put one on each side, and then I've got audio. It's not as direct as some of the others. You do get a bit of overspill, but it's better than. It's a lot better than no audio.
Fair enough.
No audio at all. So that's my Tascams. We mentioned the UX560.
Yeah.
So I won't go over that one again. And then these, I got 4 of them in there. These are the Sony TX650s. Absolutely fantastic little things.
I'm very impressed, and I've just said to John how I've ordered some for myself. And again, just looking at that interview video, there's a bit in the middle where we put one on, John, and you can see the difference. We've got a great audio setup here as it is. Not the best you can get for a studio, by all means, but you then just clip that on, very discreet, and the sound quality of that is absolutely superb.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I don't know if you've seen the interview before, but literally you can just clip it there, and it's you can't really see it.
No, on a dark jacket you won't see it. If you're putting it on, even if you're using it in an interview situation, you probably would use a lapel mic.
Yeah.
But for a bit of a run and gun wedding type of situation, they're fantastic.
These are
them on anywhere.
these are great for very quick. If there's a rush during a wedding or people are running late, you don't need to get the lav out to plug it in to pop it in the pocket. You literally in the pocket. It's recording. It's done. The battery lasts ages on these, and there's 16 gig of built-in storage. You can't put a micro SD in,
which is much better than the other TX650.
Yeah, it's 4 gig on that internal.
Yeah.
16 gig on here. I've never run out.
That's a good couple of hours.
Oh, absolutely.
Just keep an eye. Same with all this stuff, and something we'll probably mention at the end. As long as you check your kit bag before or the day before you go to another wedding. Always, make sure everything's charged, cleared, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. Charged, cleared, format everything. Make sure everything's backed up from the previous wedding.
Probably preaching to the converted here, but you know.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Just in case.
Next is my other Sony 6500 with the Sigma 30mm 1.4. You must probably seen in the previous interview that Matt done with myself. I had the 16mm on. The only reason why I put the 30mm because it fits.
Okay, yeah.
The
we
16
can already
mil.
see we've got yours.
Yeah, 16mm is a bit large, so yeah, it fits nicely in there. So I pop the 30 on. I also use the 30 more during bridal prep.
And that's equivalent 45mm.
45-ish, I think.
Yeah, just under a 50. That sounds about right. And that's a
1.4. Yeah, great sharp
They're
lens.
good value lenses to the Sigma contemporary lenses. As it's already mentioned, it's got the 16mm.
Yeah.
And the 30. And what was the rough cost of these? I know you've told me already, but
$299, I think.
That's really good value for a 1.4 prime of the Sigma quality. They're called the contemporary range. They're not their art range.
Yeah.
But they're designed for crop sensor cameras, and they are as good as the art range, in my opinion.
They are very sharp. Yeah.
Superb, wonderful.
Great sharp. I use for a lot of detailed flowers, any accessories the bride's got, shoes, dress. I'll always really punch in on this, and again with the clear image zoom I can punch in even tighter. I can pretty much make this a portrait lens.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And it's been great, absolutely been great. So that's my other 6500 with a 30mm. Next is a little video light I have with a battery. It's a Yongniao YN300A.
Yeah, okay. I've seen this before. Very good light, nice even spread.
It's a great light. You can adjust the temperature on it as well, from 3200 to 5600, I think.
And that takes the Sony batteries?
Takes the Sony battery. I think this is one of the Sony batteries. NP F7.
NPF series, yeah.
It's a chunky battery that come with it. It's a Wingonia. It was like a bundle thing I bought off Amazon. I think I paid 40 quid for both.
It's pretty good.
I didn't want anything expensive at the time.
I assume that's quite nice. You get maybe a side light or rear lighting as well. You can give it a bit of flaring. And
I have, yeah.
just as a direct light, I'm sure it's...
If I put it low as well, I'll kind of halo. Just a tad of halo. But it's not the best made.
But it's budget.
It's a budget.
Can't argue with that
Yeah.
when you need that little bit of extra light.
Exactly.
I assume you use that more when you were shooting with the Panasonic range anyway.
Using it more, yeah. And I used it a couple of times in winter. Some of the venues are quite dark and old and wintry. So, yeah, first dance. Or I even done a bit of a side profile with speeches because it was a very dark room.
Yeah.
And done a bit of a side profile with speeches. So, yeah, that is... And also in here, I've got two of the Pixies, which are just for the...
Just mount it somewhere, put it somewhere.
Yeah, I have done. But yeah, that is my little video light.
Sounds good.
On to the next, which are two of the Rode Video Mic...
Rose.
Micros, that's right,
Rode
Micros.
Video Micro,
Which
is what we're using right now.
What we're using right now. These are great. They're a little bit quieter than the Rode Video Mic Pro. But
the good thing with these is they're probably quieter because they're not battery powered.
Yeah.
But there's just one less thing to worry about. The audio quality, I think, is superb.
Plug in and they're great. I mean, I've had one of these for 18 months. I bought another one because I've now gone to a 3-camera setup. Literally ordered and got delivered a week or so ago.
And how much did you pay for that?
38 quid.
£38 in the UK. It's less. It's $40 in the US. It's such a bargain.
It's great. Absolutely great. Bought it from Amazon.
We're not going to go into whole audio and microphone tests right now, but
it's fantastic.
Yeah, for the price, you can't argue. You're getting a very good build quality, I think, as well.
Yeah,
I have a couple of them. They're superb.
They're great. They're great. So there. I'll pop them by here. So next in here is my battery charger, the Hanel Pro Cube 2.
Yes, now I've seen this and I've been impressed with it when he was using it. I have seen them myself before, and it's not the cheapest charger out there. So I do have a few chargers. You can probably see it just there on the top camera. It's I think it's actually a great little thing though. It's very impressive. It's quite a fast charge on it.
It is a fast charger. It tells you the milliamps as well of what you've got left, and a bit of a readout on the digital screen. £69 I paid for it, so it's not the cheapest charger.
You'll find if you buy a lot of aftermarket batteries, you'll get like a dual charger thrown in anyway. But I must admit that is a very good little charger. Yeah.
The one advantage with this, it comes with different sections. So you've got a little pop out kind of button. You pop that out with a little pin, pull this out, and you can put another, and you can charge the Sony A7 III batteries.
Yeah, so you've got the option to change the style of batteries that you are charging. Which
I think it comes with 3.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and also it comes with a rechargeable, so you can charge AA batteries.
Okay.
£69, £70 for the amount of batteries you can charge. I don't think it's a bad price.
No, that's not. You do get generic batteries, and you'll find you'll buy generic batteries with a generic charger, but to have a high quality one like that with LCD readout is quite good.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Really nice.
And then the 2 lenses at the top.
2 lenses at the top. My Sony 16mm 1.4. Sorry, not Sony. Sigma 16mm 1.4 for Sony. You said I've seen Sony. I've seen that.
Yeah. So this is, again, we spoke about this in the previous interview.
Yes.
But you'll use that. So that's a 16mm equivalent to a 28mm.
28, yeah.
1.4 contemporary range. The contemporary range by Sigma are fantastic.
It's so sharp, so sharp. I've again watched reviews on it. I normally put this on a gimbal and do first dance depending on the size of the venue. Focusing on it is really quick with the Sony. Really nice. If you do manual focus as well, it's got a really nice big kind of focus.
Yeah,
it's good. Rubberized as well.
They don't get spoken about enough, I don't think, the contemporary range by Sigma. They're only 4 crop sensor Sony cameras, so they're not spoken about enough. But the bokeh on them is lovely, sharp lens, and I think they're as good as the art range. I think they really do. Yeah,
really nice. And then next to it is exactly the same lens for Micro Four Thirds.
Yeah.
So I've got this still because I've still got the GH4R. If I need to get a little bit tighter, I will take the 12mm off and put the 16mm on. It's not that much tighter, but it gives me a little bit more.
Yeah.
Again, it's brilliant. It's so sharp. They're exactly the same, just mounts are totally different.
So good, he bought it twice.
I did, and the 30mm. So that is my bag. This section. Pop that back in there.
So
go on to the top.
Now the top, I'm very impressed with again, because on a bag like this, you wouldn't expect to find anything pouch-wise like this, and I'm very impressed with these pouches that you get here. I'll point them out, shall I? You tell what's in there. So starting off, we've got these little pockets there.
Yeah, normally you will put SD cards up there. I've got plasters in one.
Plasters, because you never know.
You never ever know. I've actually helped a bride when she had new shoes.
There you go.
And
saving the day yet again.
She bought me drinks because I saved her.
Because he had 50p plasters on him.
I did. It was great. If you pop that one open, there's something in there that might do a review on.
Okay.
It is a tile. It's a little Bluetooth tracker that connects to my phone. Whenever I am out of proximity, it will basically make my phone beep and tell me I've left my camera bag behind.
That's really good. Not just for being forgetful, but for the obvious
if someone steals it. Obviously, if someone goes in the bag and just takes a lens or a camera, it's not gonna help then. But if somebody just took the bag away,
so that will alert you via an app.
Yes, app on my mobile phone.
And you can track it as well.
And I can track it as well.
Very good.
It's really good. I think this was I had 2 of them for £50. I'm terrible at losing my wallet as well, so I've got one in my wallet. and one on my one in my camera bag. They've just released a new model where you can actually change the batteries.
That's quite good. So how long do the batteries?
These last 1 year.
Right. Okay. So there's an end of life for that particular one.
Yeah, there's an end of life. You can send them back to Tile, I believe, and get a discount on the next ones.
Okay.
So that's not bad. I don't know if they recycle
So how
them or
much?
whatnot.
Do we know how much the ones where you can swap the battery over?
I think they're about £10-15 more, possibly.
That's worth it, and then it's done, then, isn't it? That's quite a sensible option, actually. That's not something I've ever considered until you mentioned it. And I don't have one. I don't have a set, but I might actually get some. I'll do a review on it and show you the app in working. And
some of them are waterproof as well and everything.
Okay.
Like you can get like a Tile Sport version, I think it is.
If I need a waterproof one, my kit,
your kit's not going to be very good.
it doesn't really matter.
But
no,
these
that's
are
interesting.
just take a normal watch battery. The new ones do.
Very good.
And you change them once a year or something.
We will. We'll take a closer look at that in a future
Yes, definitely. Then in the top one is just a couple of wires, USB, micro USB or USB
Fine, yeah.
for my TX650s and my DRO5s when I'm backing up data and connecting them, etc.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the TX650 wires, when you plug them in, it also charges them. Another reason why I use the power bank. So during a day, if they're starting to run out, I will plug them in and just give them a charge while I'm having food or something like that.
Okay. And then you've got some
The next one is
Peak
my
design straps.
my little Peak Design strap that I strap to all my cameras. You most probably see on all of them. I've got the little, I don't know what you call that. What would you call that?
Let's call it a knob.
A knob. You've got knobs on the cameras. Little clip, and yeah, it's great. I have locked this on. I wear it religiously at weddings. If I can do that backwards, can I get in there? There you go. It clicks in quite satisfyingly. But yeah, I have been wearing that around my wrist, and I've had a little kid knock. It was the Panasonic G80 at the time, and I had a little kid knock my camera out of my hand. Luckily, that was around my wrist.
So you were going handheld at that time?
So yeah, I was going handheld at that time. I was on the dance floor doing a bit of handheld shots, getting in the middle, and it's great.
It's actually quite a good design to it, and Peak Design gear is pretty good. If you don't know them, they're worth a look. They do some really cool strap options.
A little bit expensive for it was. I think it was 40 odd quid, but it's
not the cheapest then, to be fair.
It's saved me no end. And the nice thing about these, it's got 3 or 4 layers of wire in. So it's got a black on the top, it's got a yellow, and it's got a red. When you get down to the red, you know you need to replace it.
Oh, so it's sort of designed to be worn and used.
And
I like that you can take it off really easily. You can then check your camera straight on the gimbal, obviously. So that's a quick release strap isn't something that you come across very often.
The nice thing about this is you don't need to take it off. You kind of tighten it up, wrap that around, and wear it as like a bracelet thing.
Oh yeah, I see. That's why there's another dongle.
So that's why there's another knob on the end. Yeah. So basically, you use it as a bracelet, and you can keep it there until you need it, and it just
until you finish the shoot. Job done.
Locks in like that. Look at that camera.
Very good.
I'll keep that on for a second.
Okay.
I've also got a little hot. What would you call the cold shoe stand for my light in that one.
And this. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So just a basic
standard cold shoe.
Yeah, standard.
So that's your little mounting bag, and there's some more things.
There's some more chargers, car chargers. Another good thing that I think is if you are traveling far, or you think, damn it, I haven't charged my batteries, a car charger. Plug it into the charger and let it run when you're driving.
Yeah, that's quite handy.
And then in the bottom. I
think that's worth a talk.
I think it is as well. Mr. Dave Powell, a videographer, photographer, aerial, all-round good guy from South Wales, has got a 3D printer, which
I didn't know until I was shown this. And I saw him selling his wares online, and I must admit I've been very impressed with this.
Yes, he gave me a prototype to test. It is a little holder. So I could basically screw this onto my Pixie. It is a little holder for the TX650.
A holder which then turns it into a mini tripod.
Mini
mountable.
tripod, really, really well made. Even that well made that he has thought of the little buttons on the side.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
And
it's hard to show on here.
It is very hard to
Even if
show.
we show you on there now, he's selling these. They're under £10. Aren't they?
I think so. Yeah,
Under $10, under £10 for something. It's very simple, but it's fantastic. It's just well thought out. As I've mentioned in our previous interview, I keep referring to that interview. I've ordered some of these microphones, and I will be getting a couple of these from Mr. Powell. I will find the link and I'll put it in the description below so you can see that as well.
The one thing that he has made as well as this little version is a version so when a groom, when they're doing speeches and they've got the microphone, normally you've most probably seen that they will get a load of black insulation tape and wind this around the microphone.
The venue's microphone.
The venue's microphone, the venue's PA system.
Yeah.
It does the job, but it doesn't look good.
No.
He has now made one of these to hold a normal microphone, and it's got that on the side.
So a very neat looking.
So option. A very neat looking option that you can just drop the venue's microphone into this, and then pop the TX650 on the side. And
I didn't know you made that either. So
that also. Oh, I didn't know that.
I think we're going to have to get one of these in.
We're going to have to get one. Dave, if you're watching, if you'd like to donate one to us so we can review it, that'll be great. But yeah, I have used this on a speeches.
Yeah.
And used it on one of my Pixies, angled it up, and got brilliant audio. Really great audio. So yeah, that is in there. That's great.
Very good. And then the big pockets here.
The big pocket there is a little holder for SD cards.
I've got it tilted, that's why it's all falling out. We've got batteries on your SD card holder.
Yeah, little SD card holder called B-Way. Apparently it's waterproof and very hard. I haven't filled it out yet. I've got a couple of SDs in there. I think you can put micro SDs in there as well, which is good. But
it's pretty good. Shockproof, waterproof.
Yeah, 12 quid.
Just protect your SD cards, because at the end of the day, that's where all your data's backed up.
Absolutely.
Until you get home and back it up again, it's definitely worth protecting for 12 quid.
Yes, completely.
And that is kind of what this whole video is about. It's not just talking about the cameras and the lenses that we've got. It's just showing what's in the bag, or what's in your bag, I should say.
What's in my bag, yeah.
So there we have it. That is Mr. Ashley's kit bag. We can close that chapter now. Oh, that's corny.
That is really.
Hope you've enjoyed looking into his kit bag. We will be doing more what's in my kit bag coming up with some other photographer and videographers that I know. For now, thank you very much, Mr. Ashley.
No problem at all.
Hope you've enjoyed your time visiting Roto with these last couple of videos.
Yes, it's been great. It's a good eye opener to see everything in action.
There's a lot of behind the scenes that you haven't seen yet, but you will see more. No, it's been great, and this is something that we're going to continue with. I quite enjoy looking at other people's gear all the time. I'm always looking at videos online of other kit bags and what everyone's got and the little things they've got in there. So hopefully others will find this interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
Any questions, anything you want to know about any of the gear, leave us a question in the comments below. We will be having John back to talk over some more, a part 2 to the interview that we've already done. And we will then take it from there.
Yes. Subscribe.
Please do subscribe, hit the bell notification, give it a thumbs up if you did like the video, and I will catch you in the next one. What's in the box? No.
What's in the box today?
It's 7. Brad Pitt at the end of 7. What's in the box? No?
Never seen it. I don't watch films.
He's never seen 7. Sort yourself out. Call
idea.
Call yourself into film. What the hell?
Idea.
What's in the box? I can't say anything other than that. If you know You know what I'm on about. If you've seen 7, you know what the reference to what's in the box. I can't even say who says it. I can't say why they say it because he hasn't seen the film 7. Look at him grinning away. Right, this isn't even mine. Let's start off. Right. Hello, welcome to another episode. Hello. No. Speak normally. I can't speak normally. Can't get my words
The wine's gone to your head.
I've had one sip of this bloody
One
wine.
sip of wine and he's gone. It's like my wife.
Let's try again. Hello, welcome to... No. You're looking straight at me.
What
Look
are
at the
you
camera.
doing?
I don't know.